It's like Prince Harry's going to have a change of heart again. Once again, some people might suggest throwing some bows and arrows, slings and stones, whatever you want to call them, against his elder brother, of course, the Prince of Wales, Prince William. But what's it started off with now? As ever, let me explain. Morning, chums. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for your time. Lovely to have your company. This beautiful church ground setting, it's nice, isn't it? I like these tranquil places, don't you? Because I often think, correct me if I'm wrong here, but if you just need a moment away, from the bustle and hustle of life, it is just nice, isn't it, And the reason why I say that is, I'll just throw this out there because I've just remembered, but do check when you're paying your council tax bills and all that sort of stuff, because I've just had a bit of a rumpus with one. When you've paid your bill, and they claim you haven't, but you have to find the receipt, this sort of thing. Be careful, keep everything, because suddenly when you're doing it all digitally or electronically, because you're forced to, even though I like to go to the post office and pay in cash, they got it wrong. I had to prove I was right. Be careful, chums, trust me. It's a little bit like Prince Harry. The bottom line with him is, time and time again, he comes across as, in my opinion, a very sort of, petulant, narcissist, spoilt, and you do kind of wonder what sort of early life Prince William had with him, particularly going through the problems that no doubt Harry, carried around with him. People forget, of course, that William carried around the same baggage, but was a lot more mature about it. Here's where this gets interesting though, because, Harry really will not stop having a go and seemingly trying to twist and turn things at every single corner. And really, this is all down to, whether you like it or not, the fact that there's one woman behind him that really just wants her own way. And it's fascinating, actually, because I know a lot of people don't listen to her podcast. But what you do pick up from listening to her podcast is just, dare I say, how vacuous she is. Really, it's all about Meghan, and it doesn't matter who she's got sat opposite her. Made me laugh when she was interviewing her latest person, somebody called Cassie. I don't think she was called Cassie, but that was the nickname she was given. And, she was talking about herself. And apparently Meghan was the besties of friends with this woman, known her for years, yet suddenly said, "Oh, I didn't know that about you." Well, what do you talk about then if you're meeting for coffee and biscuits? You know what I mean? Clearly, Meghan listens to nobody apart from herself. I know a lot of those people. But now, according to a source, here's the problem for, Prince William and, of course, his very difficult younger brother, Prince Harry. And this all centres upon the fact that very soon it would be the 30th anniversary, as one knows, for the late and beautiful Princess Diana. Hard to imagine that, isn't it? 30, Think about it, a long, long time. Now, Harry basically was offered quite a substantial amount of money from various companies, including huge major US broadcaster networks, the biggies, the NBCs, ABCs, all that sort of stuff, right? But of course, the one that he would have to remain loyal to, given the fact that they've given him so much money so far for very little, apart from the Heart of Invictus and, of course, the likes of, Polo, which didn't exactly fire any pots off, did it? Well, you see, they wanted the Diana documentary with a perspective of him. Now, there was a problem that people didn't realise, and this is because it's very difficult for Harry to be able to use pictures of himself alongside his elder brother. He doesn't own the copyright of that particular image. And whatever people think, there's a problem. Likewise, sort of home videos, which are in the public domain but still under the mastership ownership of certain individuals, that becomes problematic too. And that really was the reason why that sudden sort of outburst of a deal fell flat. According to a source, though, Harry, one might say, looking at rather now bigger, larger legal bills, is thinking again about whether he should celebrate his late mother's life in a more positive way. And given the fact that his elder brother doesn't want to get involved, and this was going to be the idea with Netflix to reunite them on the screen, as it were, even if filmed separately, well, obviously William doesn't necessarily, some might say, want to exploit his late mother. Harry clearly has no problems with that. And at this moment in time, and as ever we have to say allegedly, they're still talking through the idea of how this could be put together for a more positive celebration. Again, one might suggest that without those royal connections, albeit his mother or not, or indeed former members of the British royalty, Harry has nothing to sell Netflix. Neither does Meghan. People clearly are not interested in the product that they allegedly are very keen on. Either way, right now, this is an ongoing discussion, and one that no doubt will upset, offend, and no doubt hurt the Prince of Wales, Prince William. It's a developing story. Neil Sean, Yorkshire.